You know that feeling when you finally decide to splurge on a budget gaming laptop, only to find the frame chokes on a new title, the battery dies after an hour, and the screen looks washed out under the glow of a roommate's desk lamp? I've been there, and I've also heard the same story from a handful of friends who thought they could cheat the system with a cheaper, high-spec machine. The regret is real, and it's why I started digging into what actually makes a laptop worth the money instead of just a collection of eye-catching numbers. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. The MSI Stealth 18 AI Studio tries to position itself as a no-compromise solution, an 18-inch QHD Plus panel at 240 Hz, an Intel Ultra 9185H CPU that can turbo up to 5.1 GHz, and an RTX 4080 GPU with 12 GB of GDDR6. On paper, that's a monster. But the real question is whether this beast translates that raw power into a smooth, everyday gaming and creative workflow without the typical trade-offs you see in ultra-thin laptops. Let's break down the practical side of things, because the specs alone don't tell you if you'll actually enjoy using this machine day to day. First, the display. A 18-inch screen at 25601600 with a 240 Hz refresh rate and 100% DCI-P3 color gamut sounds like a dream for both competitive shooters and color-critical work. In my testing, the high refresh rate made a noticeable difference in fast-paced games like Valorant and CS2. The mouse movements felt buttery smooth, and there was no ghosting during rapid panouts. When I switched to a Photoshop workflow, the wide color gamut held its own against my desktop monitor, making grading and brush work feel accurate without needing an external calibrator. The downside? The panel's peak brightness tops out around 350 nits, which is fine in a dim room but can be a struggle in bright office lighting. You'll likely need to dim the room or tilt the laptop upward to avoid washed-out colors, something that can feel limiting if you're trying to game or edit on the go. Thermal performance is another hidden trade-off. MSI packages a dual-fan vapor chamber system, and the laptop stays reasonably cool under moderate loads. However, when you push the RTX 4080 to its limits, say, max settings in Cyberpunk 2077, the fans spin up aggressively and the chassis becomes noticeably louder. The lid can get warm to the touch after an hour of sustained rendering, which isn't ideal if you like to rest your forearms while gaming. It's not a deal-breaker for short, intense sessions, but if you plan on long-duration streaming or 3D rendering, the acoustic and thermal footprint will be part of the daily experience. Battery life is a topic that always scares buyers away from high-end gaming laptops. MSI advertises a 99 Wh battery, which is generous on paper, but under real use the Stealth 18 gives you roughly 3 to 4 hours of mixed work and light gaming. When you crank the RTX 4080 for a marathon Elden Ring run, you'll be looking at an hour or less before the charger screams for attention. This isn't surprising for a machine with a 240 Hz panel and a power-hungry GPU, but it reinforces the idea that this laptop is built for a plug-it-in lifestyle. If you need a portable workstation for cafe-side work or long flights, you'll feel the pinch. Now, let's talk about the AI-powered performance boost that MSI touts. The laptop includes a dedicated AI engine that claims to accelerate tasks like upscaling in games and optimizing background workloads. In practice, I noticed a modest improvement in load times when launching large titles. The SSD's 2 TB PCIe drive is already blisteringly fast, so the AI layer felt more like a subtle polish than a game-changing feature. For creators who use AI-driven plugins in video editing or 3D software, the extra headroom can translate to slightly smoother previews, but you won't see a massive leap compared to any other laptop with a similarly fast SSD and RTX 4080. Who should consider buying this laptop? If you're a competitive gamer who craves a high refresh, high-resolution display, and you also dabble in content creation such as video editing, 3D modeling, or streaming, the Stealth 18 offers a compelling single-device solution. Its combination of a powerful CPU, top-tier GPU, and a display that can serve both high-res gaming and accurate color work means you can switch contexts without swapping machines. Professionals who need Windows 11 Pro for corporate environments will also appreciate the native support for BitLocker and remote management. Who should skip it? Anyone whose primary use case is casual gaming or who needs a truly portable machine will find the size and weight a drawback. At roughly 6.5 pounds, the laptop is more of a desktop replacement you carry around rather than a thin and light travel companion. If you're looking for silent operation for late-night streaming, the fan noise under load may be intrusive. And if you're budget-conscious, the price point of the Stealth 18 sits well above most good-enough gaming laptops that can handle modern titles at 1080p with 60 Hz. You're essentially paying for premium ergonomics and a larger screen. Practical strengths of the Stealth 18 include its future-proof